Well, our next guest wrote a book about his childhood, but it's not like anything you've ever read before, and the title is certainly unique.
That's right. Scott Jacobs grew up in Wisconsin and wrote this book to share some of his memories. It's called Famous Ski Hills in Wisconsin and Other Delusions of Grandeur. Scott lives in Chicago now, but treasures childhood and Wisconsin roots. He even brought some home movies to share, right?
I did. I've got a couple of them
We
for
love
you.
that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the book itself is a collection of 30-some stories that you've written about your childhood growing up, including one about movie magic.
Right, it's different stories about different times and experiences here. One of them, I went up to, fish at the cottage with my kid and made a little home movie, and then I come back and I find the movie that my dad made 50 years ago with me. And it's the same cottage, it's the same lake, it's the same dock, it's not the same fish. and I wrote a little piece that kind of compares them. And then there was a parade that he shot in Elm Grove, Wisconsin, and I shot one in little rural Winnebago, Illinois. And it's the same parade.
And here it is. Take a look at this. Tell us what we're seeing there.
This is the Elm Grove parade in 1960.
Look
one of those
this.
is me, I don't remember which one.
So cute.
But you have the fire engine, you have the marching band.
That is so. It always seems like one, and the speed is different.
Oh, that's my sister. I'll point that out to her. She's watching.
Oh, awesome.
That's
Hi, sis.
great.
What's her name?
I don't think I should tell.
Oh, okay.
When you look back at these, what kind of things does it draw to mind? I mean, I know when I've looked at old family videos, I see, there's so many things that it conjures up about your parents, about the way of life back then, maybe about your childhood.
It conjures up all those, but it makes you realize how much the same you are as your parents, or how much you become your parents, because I took the same movie.
Yeah, let's take a look at that parade that you took. So this is much more modern.
Winnebago, Illinois.
How long ago was this?
2 years ago.
Okay.
And they do have inflatables, but
Right.
There's a fire engine in there, and there's the marching band.
The
and
cars
there's the
certainly look
cheerleaders.
different. The cars look different in what people are wearing.
Well, you get to see the artifacts of the age. That's
Yeah.
the nice thing, is to compare them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and something that's kind of neat about your book is when you buy your book as an ebook, you get some of these videos.
It's great. It's built into the chapters, so that as you're reading along on your iPad or on your Kindle or your Nook, click on the movie and it'll play, and you can see what I'm talking about.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I know books have changed so much.
They're changing.
Yeah.
They're changing
How
fast.
about the title? How'd you come up with that?
Well, I learned to ski at Little Switzerland, and it makes you very brave, because you get to the top and then you somehow get to the bottom, and you only realize when you get to the bottom it's only 200 feet high. So it was a famous ski hill to me, and then I think, well, that's a delusion of grandeur, and there's more of them. I mean, you become adventuresome, and you go out there and you have a lot of little adventures.
Yeah. And then later when you talk about it and you realize not everybody knows what you're talking about, that it was an illusion of grandeur.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ski hills that are that high. We went up to buy a dog around Slinger in February, and we drove right by it, and I said, "Oh, there's Little Switzerland." And my wife says, "Where?" And we had to go around the corner so that she could see it was a ski hill.
Which shows how massive it is. Well, let's talk about the other home movie that you took, because this is the one that you described as being up north.
This is up north. This is fishing. Me and my son fishing.
Okay.
And then this is the 1950s version. That's my mom. And
Is that you? Are you the baby?
I think that's my older brother.
Okay.
I'm gonna embarrass him too.
Right. Why not,
That's
right?
me. That's me
you fishing. Okay.
And that's my dad catching that was a big fish up
Oh,
there.
look at you.
Oh yeah.
Just
there
like-
I am.
That's a pretty good sized fish.
Yeah. I don't think they got any bigger than that.
Of course not.
And
That
we
is
all do the
great.
same things. We sit on the dock, we fish, we do nothing on vacation and take pictures of ourselves doing it.
Yeah. It's
Do you
fantastic.
remember these videos as you were taking the new ones, or was it not until you saw them
It
again?
was really afterward that I kind of came back and said, gee, that's odd. That's an odd coincidence that we all take the same movies.
Yeah.
Was the music that was behind the video, did you put that in?
I put the music behind the
I like that.
the old music or the old videos.
Yeah, I think that's really fun. It's a fun way to look at it and to hear music from back then. Now this is a video that you took how long ago?
This is a couple years ago.
Okay.
That's my wife. That's my son who was 4 at the time.
Okay.
And we're still swimming in the same lake.
It's beautiful.
Same cottage?
Well, same cottage, same lake, same dock.
And I think what's interesting is that kind of what you've learned or your takeaway is that things have changed a lot, but in a lot of ways they're still the same.
These are the family values. This is, you know, what you get out of all of this experience. Is you're too much, well, there's me and my son, and there's the big fish we caught.
I think that's so cool.
What's your favorite chapter of all these stories? We talked about the fact that you have 30 different stories in here. What's your favorite?
It's hard for me to pick a favorite. You know, I mean, there's a chapter about how I made truffles taste like kids. There's a funny chapter about college cheers where I discovered in California the Berkeley and the UCLA have the same college cheer.
They do? I didn't know that.
They do.
Do they know that?
Oh yeah, they sued each other for 20 years over who has the right to to the song. So those are the kind of important things in this book. It's an April Fool's book. It's fun to read
And how many years do you kind of cover in your book?
I started writing these stories in the late 90s, you know, and I come up through last year. I think the latest one was when I took my kid to the Dells and we stayed at the Wilderness Territory, which is a lot different from when I went down and watched the Jumping Dog and rode the ducks, you know, back in the 60s.
But the ducks are still there.
And the ducks are still there, but once you get into those hotels, you never get out because everything's in there.
That's for
True.
sure.
Even the ducks are a little advanced, let's be honest.
Yeah. You have a lot of fun opportunities for people to see you, purchase your book, and find out more about the fun stories that you share that I think everybody will kind of share the same experience in a lot of ways, and probably more than one too. Starting tonight at 5 o'clock, there's a reception at the Milwaukee Press Club. It's at the Newsroom Pub. Again, that's at 5:30. And then you have a reading and signing at Barnes & Noble. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. That's in Brookfield Square. And then you're at the Milwaukee Central Library at 11 a.m. this Saturday, April 5th. And people can check out famous ski hills in Wisconsin and Other Delusions of Grandeur by reading your book. It's really funny. You've got some great things in it. Or check out ebooks. Where can people find the ebook?
Amazon, iTunes,
Kindle.
wherever ebooks are sold.
Awesome.
Kindles.
Great. Nice to have you on the show. Thanks so much for your time. And there's what the Kindle, or excuse me, what the ebook looks like too. You can see that you can just click on the videos there. Thanks again for your time.